Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Helloazae here with more 3/4 Home as part of my 100% OG PlaySomething series. Today we're following up on the epilogue of the game that I finished a small while ago. I had somewhat neglected to follow up on the game and somewhat forgot about the epilogue when I finished the main crux of the story. And I think I just missed what the words there on the screen said, so whoops. Something about she wished she had called back then, I believe. But yes, anyways, we're out in Minnesota with a sole one subway, wobbly, a barbershop, a Domino's pizza, perhaps. And I assume we're following Kelly Meyer. Or you just choose to wait. Call mom. Kelly had really neglected to call her mom through what would seem to be the time when she was at college, which is no college now, right? She went to college in Minnesota. I believe that was what it was. Hey mom, it's me. Hello? Yeah, it's still me. Me? Who is me? It can't be Kelly. She never calls. Okay, sure. Ooh, funny? Me? No, absolutely not. It's an honest question. Just hear the words dripping with sarcasm. 3 months without a call and it's just sorry? I'm really sorry? You're getting there. Again, here we are with mom. Sassy attitude. And of course me just pacing back and forth. It's good to hear your voice. You too, Mom. What made you finally decide to call? Do I need a reason? I don't think so, but I've come to expect a motive from you. It seems like Kelly just wanted to talk, so it's pretty important. I believe you. It's just a surprise is all. Are you outside? It sounds like you're in a wind tunnel. Not very far off from what it sounds like for me, likely, due to a very, very windy day from where I'm recording. Unfortunately, I'm very close to a window. Your brother told me that you guys were going to be getting a snowstorm. You're standing around in that? Again, Kelly's brother Benji, glued to that weather forecast network. I'm regretting it. I bet you are. Why are you waiting for the bus anyway? Didn't you get your car fixed? I did, but the roads are pretty bad. And the bus is better how? I'd rather do that than driving it. If I were you, I'd rather risk it in my own heated car than wait around for a bus. How much longer are you stuck out there? Not a clue. Didn't bother to check the schedule? I wouldn't. Yes, Mom, I checked the schedule. It's just late. What's keeping it? The roads? The roads of Minnesota. God knows how bad those are. I mean, who bothers with the upkeep of Minnesota, even anyway? I have no idea what's in Minnesota, honestly. For all the audience who are actually listening from Minnesota, I have really no clue what's there. Like, nothing. Yes, you get it? There's probably nothing there. Ha ha ha. Couldn't you take another one? You could warm up. Maybe get a little closer to wherever you're going. That's not how buses work. And how would I know that? I'm just trying to... Okay. Didn't say it was bad advice. That's sweet of you, trying to make me feel better. It's a start. But you have 3 months of unreturned calls to make up for. Don't forget. Damn, 3 months. I think around the time when I was doing my undergrad, I never went without at least once a week. At least once a week without calling home. Maybe 2. How many times did they say sorry? Oh, I don't know, until I'm tired of hearing it. That's generally the reception I'd get. Might leave the hook, you can explain yourself. Generally didn't get that problem. Haven't been able to find the time. Really, not even a couple minutes every now and then? Ah, fuck, missed the bus. Uh-oh, story time. She was working at a coffee shop. Don't freak out, I got a new job. Okay, that's good, at least. Try to lead with that next time. You'll spare me a heart attack. Did something happen? It's kind of a long story. Lucky for you, I'm listening. You remember my boss, right? Sure, the asshole. That seems to be a very common theme amongst supervising assholes. Or supervisors, sorry. Would you call someone an asshole? That's the one. What did he do? He didn't have to do anything. Then why did you quit? You said it. He's an asshole. So it was a self-righteous thing. Damn. A bit. Maybe you deserve to do something like that. Heck, I'd love to be able to do that. What? I swear you liked working for the dog groomer. There's a reason we never had a dog, Kelly. I hate dogs. I never said it out loud, but come on, you know that. Alright, so at first observation, it seems that picking the question in brackets really seems to bring out that backward home thing. The broken home in the background. I think it's really meant to be a metaphor of maybe a ruined relationship that is back at home. For Kelly in most cases. But let's see. Anyway, enough about my job. You say you got a new one. Where is that? A museum. Let's say Kelly's working in a museum. What kind of museum is it? It's a living museum. Science museum sounds cooler. That sounds like it could be a lot of fun. You used to love going to museums. Do you remember the time we took you to the big museum in Chicago? Yeah, when I was 10. I don't think I've been to the museum in the last 2 years. Maybe a year? There's a museum that's usually generally has a free admission during the summers for where I live. It's very nice, very popular museum there. You'd been begging us to take you... sorry. You'd been begging us for months to take you. You kept going on and on about the new dinosaur they had, how it was the biggest and most complete one ever. I never thought I'd hear the end of it. Quite frankly, neither did I. I remember being that obsessed. Oh, you were. So that stuff to... was it a T-Rex? Tyrannosaurus Rex? Not a pterodactyl? The one from the gift shop. It was an Allosaurus. If you say so, you still have it? Ben tore it up. Ooh. I forgot he did that. His episodes used to be a lot worse back then. So he's doing better? Depends on the day. He's been having more and more good days, though. He was very reminiscent of what was happening in the car. I don't want to think about this. See, this is very interesting. Every time I see queue up these responses, I get back to this. It's your call. I'll change the subject for you. I know you're new at the museum. Are you liking it? I am, actually. Good, that's good. There's no rule saying that you have to hate your job. Any chance you don't take time off for the holidays? Haven't asked. You were planning on coming home, weren't you? I didn't... I remember. I just thought you might want a second chance at this one. I can't just pretend. It's 2 years in a row, Kelly. Just worry about that drive. I can't believe you're gonna tell your dad and Ben, dad yourself and Ben. Let's skip this part. Come back before the holidays. See what I can do. If you need help with the plane ticket, let me know. When a semester gone? A couple of weeks. That's sooner than I thought. Are your classes going alright? They're going pretty well. That's great. I knew getting that tutor would help. School's definitely not going well. No, but isn't this the conversation that you wanted? But it isn't true. And? I don't know. I wish I could have told you sooner. Tell me. I'm not doing well this semester, Mom. What? My grades are terrible. Is everything okay? Well, yeah, I'm fine. It's just the classes I'm taking are difficult. I've taken several difficult classes back when I was an undergrad as well. Some were probably way beyond what I was should have taken at the time. But besides the point, I thought you were looking forward to this semester, especially that photography class. You bought that expensive camera and everything. It turns out the teacher hates me. Come on, Kelly. I'm sure he doesn't hate you. Believe me, she does. Oh, sorry. She. Just assumed. Never mind. What makes you so sure she hates you? She's always singling me out? Maybe she's trying to push you harder than the others. That doesn't explain my grade. Well, what are you doing wrong? What does she want from you? She wants me to be more daring. I'm not sure what that means. Like, pushing the boundaries. Still not sure what that means. The boundaries. Don't you know? Yes, how are you going to push the boundaries? I wonder if you put the other option, it would have said the other thing. Can you just fake it? I mean, explain why what you're doing pushes the boundaries without it being completely true? I don't want to do that. Why not? It sounds like I'm lying. A grade is a grade. You would be all about the grade, wouldn't you? A grade is a grade. A job's a job. My wisdom isn't exactly the most creative. Wisdom? You're damn right it's wisdom. I'd like to know what you thought you could do to pull that grade up, though. To do well on my final project. You will. I have a feeling. The professor wasn't too happy with the project. I thought it turned out pretty well. It was okay. Maybe she really did hate you. No, that's not it. I had no idea what I was doing. Entirely your fault. You could have done better. Maybe. At least you tried. I wish you kept with it. I really did like your photos. I sold the camera. Oh dear. I think I never actually ever will sell my camera. Even if I don't use it as often as I do anymore. Comparatively. What about the rest of your classes? There's other question. Just trying to understand what's going on. You really wouldn't give me a break, would you? Probably not. I wouldn't have talked to you in months. I'd want to know everything. About school, I was shocked when you told me about your grade that year. The tutor didn't work out. I was furious. I don't think I've ever been that mad at you. It wasn't like I wanted it to happen. No, but you let it happen. Again, you dug the hole for yourself, and I think you were an idiot for it. Can we move on? And to lie about it to me for so long? That's just not how I raised you. Alright, before I continue further, I think just a few thoughts on what things going on. It would seem that Kelly's having a conversation with her mom in a sense. Because it seems they're doing this. The lines are indicating they're doing a back and forth as though they're enacting a conversation, but in hindsight, this conversation might have already happened, or is something that did not happen yet, or could have happened. And essentially, the feeling that I'm getting is that this conversation really might not even take place. Just with the flow of how the conversation is going, and considering the fact that the bracket answers are very different, always going back to this image of the broken household. It really seems to mirror what truly is going on in the Meyer household, or what this relationship between mom and family, and between Kelly and the family really is. This kind of broken house. Oh. I have no idea what I just did. Okay, continuing forward. Stop, stop, stop! What am I doing? Ahem. There was a lot more going on than you knew. You should have talked to me about it. I'd want to be there for you, Kelly. I would want to help. Okay. Talk to me, Kelly. I want to be here for you. I want to help. I feel like I'm alone here. Alone? I thought you had friends up there. You told me about Hannah and Kyle and his boyfriend. Oh, what about Jessie? About Hannah. How is she doing? She got married. Oh, good for her. I guess so. She seemed happy. Seemed? Question mark? She still is, for all I know. You're not keeping in touch? Not for lack of trying. But it hasn't happened, and it's on her. Maybe I haven't tried hard enough. You can't blame yourself if she's avoiding you. I know, but it's hard not to. I think you should give her a call sometime. Now that I know you still know how to use a phone, who knows, maybe she'll come back around. She's bound to start missing some of her friends. I certainly hope so. I do too. So, is the Hannah situation the only thing getting you down? No, there's more. Keep talking to them. It's Kyle and Peter. What about them? Hardly hear from them. They moved to Florida. And you don't keep in touch? We did for a while. What changed? Time. I know what you mean. It's kind of like what happened with Gracie. Remember her, right? Yeah, what about her? I knew you would. She moved to Chicago a couple years ago. I didn't know about that. It's one of those things that never comes up, I guess. Anyway, we promised to keep in touch. And for a while we did. But it's hard to maintain something like that, you know? People have their own lives. They just drift apart. There's a very real conversation really occurring here because a lot of my friends who I had known throughout my years in university, in particular my roommate, a close friend of mine at the time, we had very much drifted apart after he had graduated and I had moved back. And just maintaining that kind of friendship was very strange afterwards. And even some of the people I was really close with outside of just my roommates, and just with other school stuff as well, club activities and classes, we just never spoke after that. I guess in large part you could even consider maybe some of those friends were just people you knew of consequence and of the time, but some of those others were less so. It could be on it is on me in many ways as well as other people. Well, probably on me, and I can understand this sort of guilt that a person goes through when they feel like that relationship crumbles because they didn't put enough effort into it. But this is such a very, very deep, a very real conversation to be having, because it's very, very reminiscent of what life goes on in our millennial age. This idea of closeness through Facebook and social media and other methods, we take for granted the idea of connectivity and the network. Some people, and even in some degree, the friends we make, because we feel, oh, they're right there, and then because we know they're right there, we don't make the extra effort. But just a few cents on the matter. Anyways, Jesse and I are having a few problems. What kind of problems? Oh, she's been distant. Distant? Like, you never see her? No, we've been living together. Aha, this is news to me. Do you even want to know how long this has been going on? Not that long. We'll talk about that little secret at a time. What's the issue then? She's never home. And from the sound of things, you're constantly busy. Maybe she has a lot going on too? That's the thing, I don't know. You don't ask? I have. I don't want to come off as nosy, I just get vague answers. You think she's keeping something from you? No, I'm afraid she's having a hard time too. You don't think she's happy? I don't think either of us are. That's the real issue then, isn't it? Oh, what the heck? Or it could be better, I don't know. I think I just missed the conversation section. Unfortunate. So what's been getting you? Isn't that anything else? Anyway, you know I didn't mean it like that. And between Jesse, Hannah, and the boys, I can understand why you'd feel... Is abandoned a good word? It works. I'm sorry, Kelly. I wish you didn't feel that way. I don't even know how it got this far. What do you mean? I didn't even notice it happening. Silence. It was like I just woke up one day and everything was different. Why don't you try to stop it? You see, this question is very, very deep for me because I could be in I felt similarly before. And the answers in my head's always, there was nothing to be done, or maybe I don't know. In many cases, I still don't know. I do. It was because it felt inevitable. I felt stuck, telling the same story over and over. Everyone else had moved on with their lives, but not me. And the whole time, you never once thought to call home. It wasn't that simple. Oh. Is this really the conversation that you wished you would have had with me? You took over the conversation. What am I supposed to do? How could I have done that? Question after question after question. Do we have to go through this every time? And I guess, again, in the background, you can hear the sirens go off for the tornado that clearly isn't there. You asked for all this, and you're trying to act like I'm in the wrong? Well, please. You're just ashamed to say what you wanted, that you wanted this to happen, that you wanted your problems to feel important. What? You knew that I was having a hard time. You knew that all of us were, and acting like you cared about all the things we were going through. You decided to bitch and moan about all of your stupid problems instead? Stop, please. Your dad nearly died. Weeks went by when I didn't have anyone to talk to. Ben tried to help, but he just didn't understand how. I'm sorry. Did I ever cue that I needed someone to talk to? Mom, please, I didn't raise you to be so selfish or ungrateful. And the whole time you were throwing your future away because you're sad? What the hell was wrong with you? It wasn't... Your dad and I worked to give you every opportunity we didn't have. I never had the chance to go to college, but your turn... Sorry. But you turn around and end up back where we were, interviewing for your dad's old job because, what, you couldn't handle it? Can we just go back to how we were talking before? Why? This is what you're really thinking, deep down, buried beneath all the other garbage you're holding on to. I don't... Just tell me why you didn't call. Admit it. You were selfish, self-absorbed. You didn't care. It's not true. Then why didn't you call? Why would I? So I could list the ways I was a disappointment? Alright, so this practically guarantees the fact that this conversation between Kelly and her mom, while she was apparently still was at Minnesota at some point, it seems that this is the conversation that Kelly wished to have with her mom when she was still in school. That explain the things that were going on in her life. It would seem that during the time she was in Minnesota, she really cut all contact with her family. And this is the fallout, I suppose. Or to hear all the ways your lives are falling apart. And there's nothing I could do to help? For myself, that was completely on my own. I was terrified. You and Dad were always there for me, and everything changed. I wanted to prove I could make it on my own. They didn't need to worry about me. But I failed. I failed and I was terrified to ask for help. Because for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like you had any help to give. Just say something. Please. You're done? I'm done. Why are you torturing yourself? Because I could have done better. We all could have. Makes you think you should carry all the blame. I could have just called. You think a single phone call would have made everything different? It would have helped. Sure, but you didn't. Okay, so clearly, this is definitely hindsight or just not even happening. Sure, but you didn't, and there's no changing it now. And we have managed. We kept going, so stop playing the martyr and finish your conversation. Okay. This is the one part you always get exactly right, you know? A part. You can always talk to me, Kelly. I hate that you feel like you're alone, that you're out there all by yourself. There's a lot going on here. I know, but I always have time for you. I don't want to burden you. It's not a burden. I'm sorry I haven't called. It's okay. I'm not mad. Bus is here. What you got in this one? You've been standing out there in the cold long enough. But I haven't asked about Dad. He's doing fine. He's healing. Starting to get around his crutches. It's been a slow process, but he's getting there. Or how Ben is doing in school. Ben? He's definitely having problems, but it isn't anything new. Something that your dad and I can't handle. We'll figure it out. If there's anything else I can do... Stop it, Kelly. Get on that damn bus. I don't want to. It's going to leave whether you're on it or not. It'd be easier to ride along, wouldn't it? Alright, go. Okay. I'm currently lingering on this last line because I'm reminded of what happened in the previous episode where clearly the storm had hit and some of the last words that Kelly's mom had tried to say were clearly blurred out, but obviously it was these words exactly, most likely. And I get the feeling that while the ending was in many regards left to interpretation, it was also quite clear that quite a tragedy had struck at the home of the Meyer family, rather than actually Kelly herself. And the result in this section here, the epilogue, is that as Kelly does, and maybe even as an allegory metaphor to what most people in my generation, our generation, or the general people in life do, is that they simply run back, away from the trouble. And this conversation just leads me to believe that Kelly had returned to Minnesota after the supposed death of her family. And thinking back on the family and the relationship she had with her family, she sits near this bus sometime maybe during the winter after she had returned to Nevada, or come from Nevada, and considered her days in college, and a conversation that would have happened if she had called her mom when she was at college, and told them, and connected, and reconnected, really. And this is likely would have been the flow of the conversation. That's the impression I'm getting from this epilogue so far. In many ways, it speaks to the regret and like the distancing connection between ourselves and our families and friends. And it's a very, very difficult and very, very difficult subject to really approach. In many ways, that people even take advantage or take for granted the connections we have existing, and how we just let certain bridges just be burned or things just erode over time. Those last words on the screen currently are the ones that Kelly really wished to hear, and likely something Kelly would have heard more often if she had kept in touch with her family. So there's a lot of regret there, I'm sensing, or the idea that I'm getting from this experience so far. But anyways, to go further. Goodbye, Kelly. Until next time. Bye. The bus drives off, leaving the lone bus stand. So yeah, that was the epilogue and final episode to 3/4 Home. This game holds a lot of value and it's a very special experience I found. And while I want to do a full video on this one day, I don't think I'll actually get the chance to, in the sense that everything I want to say really is has been expressed so far. That connections are very fleeting, be it with friends, family, even small acquaintances. And that the more we take them for granted, the more likely others disappear from our lives. I want players to understand that this game, or this experience, is very special for people, and can be very special for people. It is a very very important reminder that our society now is perhaps very taking for granted the people we have around us. And it's pretty strange for me to go into this whole tangent about personal relationships, considering, I am part of that group who likely has forgotten friends, and even times at family, because of certain life obligations and responsibilities, and even just distance itself. Keeping track of that is a very difficult thing to do, and that is something I can appreciate and understand very much so. I encourage people all around, even give this game a little bit of time. It doesn't take very long, but it's a very good reminder that keep your friends and family close. It's because at the blink of an eye, it could truly could all disappear. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me for this experience of 3/4 Home, the last episode of this PlaySomething series. As always, I'm your host, helloazae. If you liked any of the content I've produced so far, I encourage you to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know things you'd like to see in the future. Perhaps even do further videos and analysis of videos with deeper meanings, or just self-reflection, or any regard in that matter. If you can, and if you'd like, follow me on Twitter at helloazae. And of course, take care.